essentially today I will film 3 videos and upload 3 videos because I have to put all of my thoughts in a formulation because they are important. So I had a really powerful spiritual experience yesterday, which was added and aided by LSD, and I got 3 different messages which I was told to share with myself and also with other people. And we will discuss the first aspect of the message. Now, this was like the biggest unaltered spiritual information I ever received. The main type of energies or entities which gave me this information were actually the entities commonly known as the Fae. And this trip of mine had serious few stages, but I will focus only on what's important. So essentially, the message was this. The first message is that there is no such a thing like a prophet or sage or saint or anything like that. All of the spiritual secrets and mysteries have already been revealed and have already been there for tens of thousands of years. And they were kept by spirits or entities of all kinds, or humans for that matter. There is nothing you can channel, you can do, you can observe in the spirit world which is actually new. There is no such a thing as new knowledge, as new gnosis. That's fictional. That's untrue. That's flawed. That's the first message I got. The second message I got is that there are 2 types or 2 directions of spiritual evolution. One is vertical and another is horizontal. So let me explain. You have like vertical evolution, which is concerned with ascending to the source up through positive energy or down through negative energy. And there is like a horizontal evolution, which works with spirits which are in line with us humans. So let me kind of explain. There are 2 types of spiritual operation. One type of spiritual operation is concerned with merging with the source up or down. This is what I call ascending or descending, vertical spiritual evolution. And there is a set of techniques which is not aimed at spiritual evolving. Instead, it is aimed at contacting the spirits which live together with us at the same plane of existence as us, which reside in nature, and they are kind of a mix between chthonic entities and elementals. And those entities are the ones you go to get things done, to get things finished for you, materially. So those are 2 different sets of spiritual operations, which require 2 completely different skill sets. And they have overlapping areas, but they are not the same. The difference between left-hand path and right hand path is that right hand path is going exclusively up, it's going vertically, and it's concerned with spiritual evolution through the positive energy. While the left hand path goes down and it's concerned with the spiritual evolution through the negative energy. However, left hand path works much more with entities which are in line with us, the entities which share this world with us. Left hand path works much more with those spirits who are living among us. That weird mix of elemental and chthonic entity. And so, what was also told to me to say was this. This was also really important. So I explained how there is a thing called natural law, right? And there is a set of rules in the universe. Human being has to follow in order to be spiritually and physically healthy. And that set of rules doesn't change. And you either follow that set of rules or you get destroyed as a species, as a soul, as a spirit, and mentally. That's the first thing. The second thing is, as I said, there is a difference between horizontal and vertical evolution. And the third thing which I was told to share is during my trip I had like a 40 minutes conversation with Lilith, and she wanted me to say two things during my experience. One thing she wanted me to say is that there is a difference between internal and external experience. External experience in life is a product of your interaction with a tangible world. But your internal experience of that is 100% your reaction. For example, let me give you an example to this. So I go and I slap in the face some girl, right? And if I go on a street and slap girl in the face, she would be traumatized and I would go to prison. But if me and that same girl are role playing in the bedroom and we are slapping the fuck out of each other, it would turn us on and it would be super cool. So essentially, what you need to understand is that there are external circumstances and external spirits, but how you react to them, your internal experience of them, is 100% your creation. And therefore all of the suffering you have and all of the pain you have or pleasure you have is your own doing, because you create it within yourself internally. But it doesn't mean that there is no external world, external spirits or sensation. And the last thing I wanted to say is this. So there is like a God, there is like a source. And the source created all things in the world and in nature as they should be. Nature is actually perfect. And it is growing on its own, it's developing on its own. Because it's a product of a higher design. If we, as human beings, suffer pain, trauma, depression, suicide, and whatever in nature, in the world, that is technically something which is our external experience, which is our internal experience. We created ourselves. And we have no credit to blame any of the spirits, entities, gods for our own situation. Because essentially our inability to adapt to our natural environment and external environment is not the problem of the spirits, nor any beings. It's our problem. And once we understand that, the last point, the last message is this. So there's like a field of consciousness, aka creator, aka source, and that field of consciousness feeds everything with energy, positive and negative. And our suffering exists because we refuse to connect to that field of consciousness. If we chose to connect to that field of consciousness, positively or negatively, we would stop to suffer in a classical way. Our suffering is exclusively the product of our own choice to not connect with the source through positive or negative energy, but instead enjoy our own internal experience, which we are creating. And I was kind of showed how it operates on a really tangible and physical level. And if we want to, this was like the last thing. If we want to essentially be happy within this world, we need to go into the spirit realm in a way we can. And we need to ask them, the spirit realm, what do we need to do for the spirit realm in order for us to be in tune with the realm and in union with the realm, either through positive and negative energy. As long as we are focused on our own experience, as long as we don't understand that we are only one little piece of water in an enormous ocean and that everything is connected, we will endlessly live in the hellscape of our own making, and we will endlessly suffer in a movie we essentially filmed, because external things happen. Let me give you the most drastic example of this. So when I was 14 years old, I was essentially sexually harassed or mildly assaulted or traumatized, right? So that's a really nasty thing to experience, right? And I will say a really difficult statement for people to get. And that statement is the following: the fact that somebody put a stick in my ass is objectively real. But the torture I experienced because of that experience was 100% my own mental construct. If, for example, somebody else in other circumstances put the stick in my ass, it could be experienced, as it is by many people, as a pleasant sensation. So the fact that I was traumatized by it was 100% torture created within my own mind. But the fact that somebody put a stick in my ass is objectively real. And I was traumatized by it a lot. But if I can realize that, the thing which happened to me is 100% my own creation from a mental and emotional standpoint, I think this will give you a lot of insight into what I am saying. And so the point is this: there are two realities, two spiritual realities. Horizontal, which is dealing with spirits to manifest certain things in life, and vertical, which is dealing with spiritual evolution. Left-hand path, aka spiritual evolution through negative energy, works much more with those horizontal spirits which are co-inhabiting the world with us. Right-hand path is mostly concerned with ascending to positive planes. And right-hand path is not concerned with essentially those horizontal entities. So the next video will be the most important video of my career, but this one was also really important. Talk to you soon.